Hi, this is New Time on Silkway TV, and we're back bringing you the stories that matter with context, perspective, and expert insights from Kazakhstan, Central Asia, and beyond. I am Yergali Ramazanova. Here are the stories making headlines this week. The presidents of Kazakhstan and Russia are meeting in Omsk as the 22nd Inter-Regional Cooperation Forum gets underway. What agreements could emerge from the talks? We break down the key issues and expected outcomes. A glimpse into the future of urban transport. Kazakhstan has carried out its first ever air taxi demonstration flight. Our reporter was there to witness the historic test firsthand. One stage, 12 countries, millions of viewers. Silkway Star is back for its second season, with filming taking place in China for the very first time. The New Time team brings you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look. The 22nd Russia-Kazakhstan Inter-Regional Cooperation Forum is currently underway in Omsk, bringing together government officials, business leaders, and regional representatives from both countries. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is taking part in the event alongside his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin. What's on the agenda and what could the talks deliver? In our next report. This year's forum is focused on building a global logistics ecosystem with key discussions covering the economy, agriculture, investment, infrastructure, as well as education and humanitarian cooperation. Alongside the main agenda, the Congress Hall is hosting B2B networking sessions, a youth forum on business and social development, and an exhibition showcasing the region's latest achievements, from new industrial projects to major transport corridors. Members of the Kazakhstan-Russia Business Council are meeting to turn ideas into practical cooperation.
The main issue was the establishment of a working group on the Irtysh River involving three countries, Kazakhstan, Russia and China. This is a project that is already being implemented. A roadmap was adopted in 2024 and now we need government support to move it forward. At the moment, negotiations are underway on the dredging the riverbed.
Kazakhstan remains one of the Omsk region's key foreign trade partners. Since the beginning of the year, bilateral trade has exceeded $136 million, up nearly 18% compared to the same period last year. Kazakhstan's exports surged to $33 million, while imports from the Omsk region rose by 13%. Forum participants say the priority now is not only to sustain this momentum, but also to identify new areas for cooperation and unlock the full potential of bilateral partnership.
There are vast water resources that remain underutilized. Why not make use of them? We can reach agreements between customs and border authorities to launch regular river services that would facilitate the movement of both cargo and passengers in both directions.
The two-day forum will culminate on Saturday when Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is set to address the plenary session. Yergali Ramazanova, New Time. Over 70 commercial agreements worth more than $15 billion. That is the headline outcome of Kassym-Jomart Tokayev's working visit to Shanghai. The agreement spans strategic sectors ranging from artificial intelligence and digitalization to transport infrastructure, finance, the agro-industrial sector, and advanced manufacturing. But what do these deals actually mean for Kazakhstan? And how could they benefit the country's economy and its people? Nuray Selbek breaks it all down.
Beyond the headlines, the agreements signal a broader transformation in Kazakhstan-China economic cooperation. One of the most tangible outcomes is in the automotive sector. By 2028, Kazakhstan plans to begin production of Li Auto, Omodo and Jayco vehicles while expanding electric vehicle infrastructure together with Chinese partners. But manufacturing is not only part of the picture. Another landmark agreement covers the construction of a new multifunctional terminal at the port of Kuruk, strengthening Kazakhstan's role as a key transport hub along the Middle Corridor. The first phase of the project, valued at around $150 million, will create a terminal capable of handling up to 15 million tons of cargo annually. Once fully operational, cargo volumes are expected to grow significantly, supported by an expanded Caspian fleet and thousands of additional container trains. In effect, the project is designed not only to expand port infrastructure, but also to reinforce Kazakhstan's position as one of the Eurasia's key logistic gateways.
уақытын, тарифтарды сақтау,
At present, the Chinese side is making use of these opportunities, recognizing the work we have been carrying out. This is due to our cargo handling capacity, transit times, tariff stability, and the quality of services we provide. Overall, we have signed an agreement for the construction of 8 new vessels. 4 of them are currently being built in China, while the other 4 are under construction in Azerbaijan. In addition, should the number of such terminals increase, we will need to expand our fleet accordingly, and we have plans in place to do so.
Мемлекетінде салынып жатыр. Қосымша егер осындай терминалдар көбейетін болса, ол жаңағы кемелердің санын арттыру керек бойынша жоспар да бар.
And of course, no visit to Shanghai will be complete without artificial intelligence. Infrastructure and industry may have dominated the deal list, but AI emerged as another defining theme of the trip. Kazakhstan announced plans to establish the UNESCAPE Asia-Pacific Digital Solutions Center in Almaty and propose a Kazakhstan-China Digital Bridge initiative to boost digital trade and AI cooperation. President Tokayev also invited China to support declaring next year the year of joint AI initiatives, highlighting both countries' ambition to expand their partnership beyond traditional industries and into the technologies shaping the future.
I would describe it as a natural evolution rather than a sudden turn, and it's a next level of cooperation, something that I think we've been waiting for a long time, because we're moving to an improved level of cooperation, and I think it's smart and wise that we are working with China in that level, because China is creating a global initiative in terms of artificial intelligence, and they're becoming leaders in that field, and us becoming their partners in that field is something prudent and that will work well for our economy.
The significance of the Shanghai visit goes beyond the number of agreements signed. Together, they lay the groundwork for long-term investment and signal a new stage in Kazakhstan-China cooperation. While trade, infrastructure, and manufacturing remain central, the partnership is increasingly expanding into the industry of the future: artificial intelligence, digital technologies, and innovation. Nuray Aslbek, Ayganim Salkan, New Time.
Kazakhstan has officially become one of the founding members of the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization. The agreement was signed in Shanghai, establishing a new intergovernmental organization dedicated to international cooperation in AI. WICO brings together countries including Kazakhstan, China, Qatar, and Brazil. The new international body aims to strengthen global cooperation, promote the safe and responsible development of artificial intelligence, and support common approaches to its governance.
Representatives from 29 countries, including Kazakhstan, Laos, Pakistan, Russia, and Indonesia, signed the agreement as founding members. Secretary General Guterres and other representatives from various countries and international organizations also attended the ceremony. China will work with the founding members for the early operation of the organization. The WICO initiative is yet another example of efforts to build a community with a shared future for humanity, to strengthen international cooperation and global governance on AI, promote the sound and orderly development of AI, and make sure it is a force for good, safety, and fairness.
This week, 7 political parties in Kazakhstan officially launched their campaigns for seats in the country's newly established Kurultai. The vote set for August 23rd will be the first parliamentary election under Kazakhstan's new constitution, which replaced the former bicameral parliament with a unicameral legislature known as the Kurultai. Over the next 4 weeks, the parties will compete for public support ahead of election day. But who is competing for power? Why replace parliament with a Kurultai? And what does the centuries-old name mean for modern Kazakhstan? Here's everything you need to know. The word Kurultai is deeply rooted in the history of the Great Steppe, and today it stands at the heart of Kazakhstan's political transformation. Historically, the Kurultai was an assembly where major decisions were made collectively, from questions of governance to matters affecting everyday life. Today, the name has been given to the country's new legislature.
В период ханства, в период нашей истории,
During the era of Kazakh Khanate, the Kurultai served as a body where representatives of the people came together to make decisions on issues affecting society. It was a forum for discussing matters of governance, security, and the well-being of community. Even practical questions such as where to migrate or issues concerning different clans were decided collectively. In that sense, a clear parallel can be drawn between Kurultai and Parliament. Renaming the institution is a reference to our history and a reminder that traditions of collective decision-making and public participation have long been part of Kazakh society.
Такие вот демократические процессы происходили в жизни нашего общества всегда.
The decision to revive the Kurultai is part of a broader constitutional reform approved by Kazakh voters in a nationwide referendum earlier this year. Under the new constitution, the country's bicameral parliament has been replaced by a single-chamber Kurultai with 145 seats. International experts note that the new model is intended to make lawmaking more transparent, more efficient, and easier for the public to follow.
It'll all be in one chamber. So I think that'll reduce time. It will also, I think, make it more clear to the voters, to the population, how the process is going, easier to focus on who's making the decisions, easier to see, how the amendments are being proposed and reviewed and adopted. Since all the members will come in from party lists, I think it also makes for more clarity, because every party is going to have a platform, and they'll be proposing laws supporting or not supporting certain initiatives based on what's in their platform. So I think it clarifies, in a sense, what the members, what the politicians are for and what they're against. So I think there's some clarity there.
The next 4 weeks will be decisive as political parties seek to win public support ahead of election day. On August 23rd, Kazakh voters will decide which parties earn seats in the country's legislature. The vote will establish the first Kurultai under the new constitution, marking a historic shift in Kazakhstan's political system. Yergali Ramazanul, Alihan Satılhan, New Time. And now turning to Central Asia, it's been another eventful week for the region, with headlines ranging from major investment deals to breakthroughs in healthcare, culture, and sport. For a closer look, it's time for a weekly roundup, Central Asia in Focus. Joining me now is my colleague Nuray Selbiek. Nuray, what caught your attention this week?
Hello, Yergali. This week, Central Asia made headlines with major gains in investment, healthcare, regional cooperation, and culture. We begin with Kazakhstan's latest investment milestone. Kazakhstan has reaffirmed its position as Central Asia's leading investment destination after attracting $19 billion in greenfield investment last year, accounting for 89% of all new production projects across the region. According to the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, the result reflects the government's ongoing efforts to improve the business climate through economic reforms and investor support measures. Officials say these measures are helping Kazakhstan remain the region's top destination for a foreign capital. Meanwhile, Kyrgyz Republic is making final preparation to host the 6th World Nomad Games later this summer, returning to its birthplace with event hosted in Bishkek and Issyk-Kul region. This week, authorities carried out large-scale public health emergency exercises in the Issyk-Kul region, bringing together healthcare professionals, government agencies, international partners, and even the World Health Organization. The simulation tested the country's ability to respond to potential health threats during major international events, with officials emphasizing that public health preparedness is now an essential part of hosting global competitions. The exercises are expected to help strengthen coordination ahead of what will be one of the country's largest international events of the year. Also in the sphere of healthcare, Kazakhstan's Minister of Health has announced the country's important milestone in joining the world's top 30 countries for cardiac surgery following last year's recap. With over 13,000 open heart surgeries performed and the expansion in the variety of procedures offered by cardiac centers, this year we observe a continued positive trend in the decline of suffered infarctions, stroke, heart disease, and more. The country's healthcare advantages, as argued by President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev earlier this year compare favorably to those found abroad, making it an increasingly known destination for medical tourism. The achievement reflects decades of investment in medical technology and scientific research. Regional economic cooperation is also on the agenda this week, as Bishkek will host a major Kyrgyz-Uzbek business forum on July 28, bringing together government officials and business representatives from both countries. The meeting is expected to focus on expanding trade, attracting new investment, and developing joint business projects across a range of sectors. The forum reflects the growing emphasis Central Asian countries are placing on strong regional partnerships and economic integration. From present to past, archaeologists in Kazakhstan's Turkestan region have uncovered rare artifacts dating back to the ancient Kanje civilization. After almost 20 years of continuous research, the discoveries include a fragment of ancient glass, everyday household items, and even symbolic engravings on ceramic vessels that offers new insight into the culture and daily life of one of Central Asia's early states. Due to the majority of the ancient city remaining hidden underground, researchers believe they can uncover more of it during potential future excavations and research, which would better our understanding of the Kanje's historical, trade routes, and cultural development. And finally, Kazakhstan's unique landscapes are once again attracting international filmmakers. Previously, Astana was featured in the movie Alter with actor Tom Felton, known for his role in Harry Potter, and now the Mangistau region is becoming key filming location for Hollywood star Jackie Chan's latest movie Armor of God. Production had officially begun on July 18th, and it's expected to finish by October 2026 under the direction of Kazakh filmmaker Robert Kun. Apart from Mangistau's cliffs, deserts, and Caspian coastline, the film will feature different regions across Almaty and will contribute to showcasing Kazakhstan's landscape and cultural heritage for a global audience. That's all I have for today, Ergali.
Thank you. That was Nuray Asylbek with a comprehensive overview. And we continue. Imagine skipping traffic by flying over it. That's exactly what an electric air taxi promises. This week, Astana hosted a public demonstration flight of an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, giving people a first look at a technology that could reshape urban mobility. But how far away is that future? How soon could air taxis become part of everyday life? Our reporter finds out.
For decades, the idea of flying taxis belonged to science fiction. Today, Kazakhstan is taking one step closer to making it reality. In just a few moments, this aircraft will lift off vertically and demonstrate what urban transportation could look like in the near future. Here's what that looks like.
Today's demonstration flight actually was performing perfectly. And as we can see, actually it took off vertically and then transit to cruising mode, and then did about 10 minutes of flight, probably about 20 plus kilometers, and then backward transition to vertical landing mode and then land very smoothly.
This demonstration is taking place a part of the Games of the Future 2026. Right now you can see the inside of the aircraft that's designed to carry one pilot and 5 passengers. It can reach speed up to 200 kilometers per hour and fly as far as 200 kilometers on a single trip.
13 қозғалтқышы бар.
It has 13 motors. Normally, each motor operates at 50% of its capacity. For example, if one motor fails, the adjacent motor automatically increases its output to 100%, allowing the aircraft to maintain stable flight. This redundancy is built in for safety purposes. Since this aircraft is designed for urban air mobility, it is much quieter than larger conventional aircraft. In addition, its vertical takeoff and landing capability allows it to take off and land within the city, including on the rooftops of buildings.
And now the question is, when will air taxis become part of everyday life? If everything goes according to plan, the first passenger flight could begin by the end of the 2028 or early 2029. Until then, the focus will remain on testing, certification, and building the regulatory framework needed to safely bring urban air mobility to Kazakhstan. Nuray Asylbek, Ayganim Salken, Nauriz Bazarov, Kalini Sibayev, New Time.
Next week, Astana will take center stage as the Games of the Future officially get underway on July 29th. Kazakhstan becomes only the third country in the world to host the International Digital Sports Tournament. Over 12 days, more than 800 athletes will compete in 8 disciplines that combine traditional sport with digital gaming. For the capital, the event is expected to attract thousands of visitors, showcase its modern sports infrastructure, and further strengthen Astana's position on the global sporting map. As the countdown continues, teams are fine-tuning both their physical performance and in-game strategies.
Last year, we finished third at the Games of the Future in Abu Dhabi. It was our first experience in this format. I think every child dreams of becoming an e-sport player at some point, and this is a chance to make that dream a reality. It is something completely new and very exciting.
Alongside phygital basketball, athletes will compete in phygital football, dance, combat sports, and MOBA tournaments. The total prize pool exceeds $4 million. The games will run through August 9th and are expected to draw fans from around the world.
This is a completely new discipline for me, because combining the virtual and physical worlds is something unusual, but that's exactly what makes it exciting. I think it's a major event for Kazakhstan. It's the first time we're hosting the games, and with so many international athletes and fans coming, it's going to be a great experience.
More than 1,000 submissions from 80 countries in just 8 weeks. That's how quickly the Astana AI Film Festival has captured global attention since applications opened in late May. And with the submission deadline still weeks away, the total continues to rise. The United States currently tops the list with 177 entries, followed by Kazakhstan, India, South Korea, and the United Kingdom. Together, these 5 countries account for nearly half of all submissions. Creators from dozens of other countries across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas have also joined the competition. One of the biggest drivers of that growth has been China. Following the signing of a partnership agreement and the festival's presentation in Beijing, nearly 150 new AI-generated film submissions were received from Chinese creators in just 2 weeks. Filmmakers from across the globe are still preparing their entries using the latest AI filmmaking tools ahead of the mid-August deadline. Silkway Star, the international music show watched by millions around the world, is returning for a second season. Co-produced by the TV and radio complex of the President of Kazakhstan and China Media Group, the project is being filmed in China for the first time. Contestants from 12 countries are preparing to take the stage in Yiwu, where weeks of rehearsals are about to culminate in one of the biggest television productions of the season. Almira Mirov went behind the scenes before the camera started rolling.
In just a few hours, the stage will come alive as filming begins of the new season of Silkway Star. Behind the scenes in EU, Kazakh and Chinese production crews are putting the finishing touches on the project nearly a year in the making. As the final rehearsal gets underway, every light, every camera angle, and every sound cue is being checked before the show goes live. Let's go behind the scenes. This is the second season of Silkway Star, but the first one to be filmed in China. Artists from 12 countries across 5 continents have come together under one roof, turning the competition into a celebration of musical and cultural exchange. The format has also been completely reimagined. This season, there will be no eliminations. Every contestant will perform throughout all 10 episodes, with the overall winner determined by the highest cumulative score. Each episode will also crown its own star of the episode.
Я ожидаю увидеть мега-шоу благодаря таким возможностям и благодаря
I'm expecting a spectacular show thanks to the scale of this production and the talented contestants who have come here to compete at such a high level. I believe all of this together will create a truly outstanding musical performance. Above all, what I want to see and what will really capture my attention is complete artistry and total dedication to the performance. I'll be looking at how the contestant sings, how they perform on stage, how they connect with the audience, and ultimately how far they are willing to go on stage in pursuit of victory.
Он способен выйти сейчас на сцену ради своей победы.
Contestants will be evaluated by professional musicians representing every participating country, while audiences will also help shape the final rankings. But beyond the scores, the project is designed to bring cultures closer together through music, giving each artist an opportunity to share the sounds, traditions, and identity of their homeland with millions of viewers. Kazakhstan's voice in this season is Ruhiya Baydukhenova.
Целый проект состоит из 10 туров, и там 10 разных жанров будет у меня. Большинство половины я там добавляю наши инструменты.
The project consists of 10 rounds, each featuring a different musical genre. In most of my performances, I incorporate traditional Kazakh instruments, such as the dombra and the sabazga, along with throat singing. My goal is to showcase Kazakh music on a much bigger stage, because I truly believe it deserves global recognition. It is a great honor for me to represent Kazakhstan in such a major international project, and I hope my fellow citizens will be there to support me throughout the journey.
Для меня очень большая честь представлять нашу страну в таком масштабном проекте. Сам проект, он очень интересный, и думаю, что и моя страна будет меня поддерживать.
Behind the scenes, preparations continue almost 24 hours a day. Every camera angle, lighting cue, and musical arrangement is rehearsed repeatedly before filming begins. At the same time, many of the biggest creative ideas remain under wraps. The production team wants audiences to experience the surprises when the episode airs. What already is clear, however, is that this production is about far more than a music show. For weeks, artists and production teams from 12 countries will be living and working side by side, sharing ideas, traditions, and creative approaches long before they share the stage.
Well, 的确是非常非常的困难.
This season, we've expanded the project far beyond where it started. We now have contestants from countries like South Africa, Brazil, and New Zealand, making Silkway Star truly global. Every culture brings its own musical identity, and that's what makes this season so special. In Silkway Star, we treat music as a language. Through different performances, people from different countries can understand each other without words.
The stage will welcome the contestants of the second season of Silkway Star. Soon, audiences will see 10 spectacular shows featuring performers from across 5 continents. But for now, the spotlight is still on the final preparations, the part of the story viewers at home will never get to see. But we tried to show it for you. Almira Mirov, Akijan Musahan, New Time, EU, China.
And that's it for today. Catch all the main news and special projects about Kazakhstan and Central Asia on Silkway TV channel and follow us on social media. Stay tuned for more and see you next week.